Welcome back to Autism Live. We're welcoming back onto the show Marina Bulkin, Marina, welcome back. Where are you joining us from?
Good afternoon. I am in Santa Fe, New Mexico today.
Wow. And so, Marina, tell the folks at home what your role is at the Center for Autism and Related Disorders.
Sure. I'm a senior regional manager at CART. So I oversee the clinical and administrative performance of some of our centers in Southern California, New Mexico, and Arizona.
That's a
I'm
big,
also a
big range.
BCBA.
You're also what?
I'm also a BCBA, so I supervise kiddos across the states as well.
And we love a fabulous BCBA, and you are a fabulous BCBA. So Marina is here today to answer some of the questions that you guys have written in. So I'm going to get started with the first one here. How can I get my 4-year-old with ASD to play with my friends' non-ASD kids? I have only one child, and he is on the spectrum. My friend has 3 boys, none on the spectrum. Whenever we get together, they try to play with my son, but they give up. Then eventually something happens and the 3 boys will blame my son and stick up for each other. So Marina, what can we tell this mom to help her to be able to have a good play date with these other kids?
I think, like with so many situations for our parents with autism, being prepared and proactive possible is a great start. I would suggest to this mom that she maybe bring some activities that her child enjoys playing over to her friend's home to have familiar games and familiar toys that might be a little bit more engaging. Maybe also having the moms and the kids playing together as a group. There's a little bit more supervision throughout the activity, might be a way to just help things go smoothly. And I think overall, having the expectation that the kids are not going to play together completely well the full time is probably pretty reasonable. So maybe this mom can have her child engage with the 3 siblings for shorter amounts of time, maybe 5-10 minutes at a time, and then give her kiddo a little break to do something preferred on his own before then giving them the opportunity to play again together. And I know a really good structured activity that kids enjoy doing together is eating. So maybe making more of the social activities revolve around eating snacks or watching a show that might be a little bit more engaging, would be a way that everybody kind of has more fun during that time together too.
I think that's great because it's got to be reinforcing for everybody. Okay, so the next question, how can I motivate my teenager to want to come to the Center for Therapy?
As teenagers, I think if this particular child has the understanding to be aware of why he's coming for treatment, I think sometimes explaining that he's coming to the center because that's where his teachers happen to be, and he might see kids at the center that are different from him, but he can be a role model to them or be there to help teach them, might be a way of setting this teenager up to feel like we're not comparing necessarily to the kids at the center, but that just happens to be the setting where his teachers are, which is why he's going to the center to work on his individual goals. And sometimes the older teens like the responsibility of being a helper in the office, so really setting them up as, we asked you to come here because you're a great role model for the younger kids, or we enjoy having you at the center because you can show the younger kids what's an appropriate way of behaving and you're a really good example for them, might be a way of making the experience more positive. Ultimately, if those motivating variables don't work, ABA relies on reinforcement, exactly like you said, Shannon. So I think coming up with a good reward system is a way to take some of that power struggle out of it and thinking of a reinforcer that the teenager might enjoy earning as a reward for coming to the center, or maybe choosing a really preferred game or activity that he only gets to do at the center with his behavior technician, would be a way to make treatment a little bit more motivating as well. And then making sure that this mom is talking to her supervisor to also make sure that the team is making the experience as positive and interesting and fun as possible. I'm sorry, for the teen, would make the whole experience more enjoyable as well. Maybe they can incorporate going on outings from the center if appropriate, or if there's some of our offices are lucky enough to have like a little store or a little cafe where they can go and do part of their session, just to make it a little bit more variable, interesting, and add some novelty in there too.
It's interesting. Just the other day, I was talking to a parent who has a teenager and they're starting to come to the center. And one of the things that came up is that the center has a game system that they don't have at home. And she was talking about how much he likes that game thing and that she was going to get one for home. And we said, whoa, 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 wait a second. Let's not do that right away. Like if that is at the center, then maybe he'll want to go to the center to play that game system. And we don't want him to have it at home because then that won't make the center special. And she was like, oh, that never even occurred to me. So so far I think that he's enjoying going to the center because he knows he's going to do some stuff at the center and then he's going to get to play this game system that he doesn't have at home. So
absolutely. And we're always very open to suggestions if our kids or teens or parents can suggest other games or toys that we can have at our centers that make the treatment more fun for the families. I think that we're always open and we want to hear what those suggestions are. We can find more interesting games to just keep our teens and kids engaged and having fun while they're learning.
yeah, it's all great. It's all about the reinforcement. So then the last question here, my 2.5-year-old is starting therapy next week. What do I need to do to get ready?
That's always, I'm sure, a very stressful time for families. I think if those sessions are taking place at the center, it would be really useful for this mom to start thinking about just packing up for treatment for the day, making sure that there is a lunch and snacks available and that there are enough snacks available to use as rewards throughout the day. It's always really important to have a couple of changes of clothing at the office just in case of spills or accidents. We need to make sure that our kids are coming in comfortable closed-toed shoes because they're so active and there's a lot of people around. It'd be really useful to pack an extra jacket because sometimes it can be a little cold. Making sure that mom is putting some preferred toys for her child into the backpack that she's bringing to sessions so the therapy team has good options of games and toys to play with to build rapport with the little boy or girl. If the kiddo isn't toilet trained yet, making sure we have plenty of toileting supplies available to work through that toilet routine. And it's always really helpful when parents give us pretty clear instructions on what the kids need in terms of this is how often we need to remind them to drink water, this is how often we need to remind them to eat, and here are the order of the foods that the kids like. Especially when they're new to treatment, we want to keep the routines as consistent as they were at home, especially during that transition, to make that as easy as possible. If this child has been napping, I think one way to try to get prepared for treatment is to see if that napping schedule can be tweaked or shortened to have more time available for ABA, if at all possible. I think being available to come in a little bit earlier or maybe stay a little bit longer at drop off and pick up to potentially observe parts of the session or check in with the team if there's any additional questions would be really useful as well. In terms of therapy materials, the team will usually let parents know if we need additional materials that are specific to that child. It's often very easy to send some Amazon links of very child-specific toys or materials that we might need to make treatment more successful. Parents are always welcome to come in and do a tour of the center before treatment starts with the kiddo too, just to get a lay of the land and meet the various staff in the office. Parents feel really comfortable that they know the team that is going to be present at the office while their child is receiving treatment. We're always very happy if parents call in throughout the day to ask questions or just check in on their kids, especially as they're new to therapy. You know, we want to put our families at ease that their kids are being really well taken care of and are available to check in and say, yes, he ate, we're helping him with changing his diaper, whatever kind of those day-to-day concerns might be, just to help our parents feel more at ease, especially with the very beginning of treatment. I think overall, just kind of getting prepared that this is a huge change for a very little kid. So there might be crying or fussiness as we start in ABA, and just trying to be as prepared for that as possible. We try to make treatment very fun, and we want to be best friends with the kids that we're teaching, but we are also adding a lot of structure. We're adding expectations and instructions that may be difficult or very new for our kids. So they may leave sessions and have cried during the session, or sometimes when they arrive to the center, they might get a little sad or even cry. And I think just trying to be as prepared as possible that that's ultimately part of the process of learning in ABA. And asking a lot of questions, but ultimately knowing that it usually takes a little bit of time, but most of our kids go work through that like crying phase. They're getting used to treatment. Um, yeah, so I think those will be good ways to get prepared. And I think taking a tour of the center is a great way to start as well.
I agree. And the one thing that I would add to all of that is that if the parent has time, at the ibehavioraltraining.com, there's online training that you can do to know more about what the therapists are going to be doing with your kiddo. The more that parents know, of course, the more they uphold what happens in therapy, and we know that they do better. So ibehavioraltraining.com is a great place, very inexpensive, to get trainings that are online that you can watch again and again and again to learn more about what it is that the therapists are doing. Now, Marina, I just so appreciate you doing this with us. It's been lovely to have you with us. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I know you're super busy.
Oh, you're very welcome for having me.
Thanks, Marina. Have a good week.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.